If it falls on either side of these zero lines, we should not be doing it, right? In this instance, 0 marks the spot. How do you say no to things? How do you eliminate the work that is not really relevant or necessary or important or doesn't align with the specific goals and objectives that you've set? Well, number one, if you've not set some specific goals and objectives, if you haven't identified a target that you're focused on, it's really hard to eliminate work. It's very easy to fall into the trap of, hey, I need help with this, so you go through and do it. Or I need help with that, so you go through and do it. So how do we eliminate those things? And elimination is pretty powerful. You know, think about some of the people that talk about elimination in the context of dieting. So people will do the carnivore diet as an example. Some people will do time-restricted feeding. They'll eliminate food during a specific part of time. If you're looking at saving money, you can eliminate some of the non-essential things that you're purchasing. Maybe you don't go out to eat as often. So how do we actually start saying no to the things that we're doing that don't actually contribute to the broader objective? Well, first, we've got to have the objective. So we have our goal or objective. We've got different actions, game plan, different actions that we're taking that align with that individual goal or objective, right? So we've got those, and we've talked about this a little bit before. You might have multiple game plans. So you might have multiple goals, multiple actions that you're working on, and it's really hard to keep track of these specific things, right? You've got so many of them that you're working on in any given period of time. You might have one that's related to health. You might have one that's related to family. You might have one that's related to financial goals, right? So you've got all of these things. Well, now we've got a lot of stuff that we've kind of got to work through, and we've got to figure out, okay, which ones of these are the ones that we're going to prioritize? Like, which goals are more important than others? Well, family, number one. Actually, health is probably number one, depending on where you are, because if you're not healthy, you're not going to be there for your family. So let's say family is number two. Financial is number three. But if you don't have the money, are you going to be able to support your family? These are all really, really tough things. Life is hard. Life is hard. So we've got our goals. We lay those out. We know the actions that we're doing. Well, one test is this thing that I'm working on right now, assess current state, is this thing that I'm working right now aligned with one of these three goals? A better question, and I like the is because I like the binary yes, no type stuff. Another question you might ask is, how does this thing align with one of these goals? How does it align with goal one, goal two, goal three? How does it align with it? Now, the challenge with the how does it align is we can come through and we can kind of justify it. We can say, well, over a period of time, it might get me closer to this. That's fine. Be careful about how you're trading certain things. Are you trading short-term gain for long-term pain? I know somebody else has said that. I'm certainly not. I'm not a poet. So, but I don't know who said it first. So let's just ask that question: are we trading short-term gain for long-term pain? And this usually comes in things on the diet side or on the spending side, where we got to get that next new thing. You got to go out there and buy some new lav mics because they're going to really help with audio. And I think they've, given the feedback that I've gotten on the audio, I think they really have made a difference. So, all right, that's one way to go through the whole thing. Well, another model that you can go through, and this is going to make today's thing a little bit longer. You've seen this before. This is the territory planning model. If we go through and we list out the things that are most important to us, our biggest priorities. Let's say goal number one is that health. Is this thing that I'm getting ready to do getting me closer to my health goal? Yes, 1. No, 0. Is this thing that I'm working on getting me closer to my financial goal? 1, 0. Yes, no. Is this thing that I'm working on right now getting me closer to my family goal? 0, 1. Yes, no. We're just moving into this area. And what we can start to do is really quickly have a set of 3 specific questions in this instance. Might be 4, depending on how many goals you have out there, where you can go through and do a quick test and see where does it fit inside this territory planning chart, area of creating focus through lines of clarity. Where does it fit in here? And is this something I really should be doing? Or is it something where I've got to give myself the freedom to say no to, the freedom to eliminate, the freedom to stop? With the number of questions that we've got to roll through every day and the challenges that we run into each and every day and the distractions that we have because of outside influence, whether that comes from investors or it comes from members of our board or it comes from people inside our family or it comes from the couple of inches that are between your left ear and your right ear, it becomes really easy to get distracted and get pulled into a different direction. If you find yourself getting distracted, come back to those goals, come back to your creating focus through lines of clarity chart, this chart right here, and give yourself the freedom to eliminate, say no, because if it falls on either side of these 0 lines, we should not be doing it, right? In this instance, 0 marks the spot. Thanks.